Red Bull was hit with severe penalties after being found guilty of budget cap breaches. Red Bull's budget cap penalty will hurt the reigning world champions in 2023, according to the team's former engineer Dan Fallows. He stressed the punishment will impact the team, to some extent, in a major blow to Max Verstappen and Christian Horner. The team were slapped with a 10% reduction in wind tunnel testing and CFD development after being found guilty of breaching the cap last season. Fallows has since left the world champions to take up the role of technical director at Aston Martin. However, he is confident the team have the quality to get a hold of the problems before the start of the new campaign. Fallows explained, "That kind of restriction with your wind tunnel hours, you even get it, obviously, as you go up the grid, that does hurt. I think that restriction will hurt them to some extent, but I think they have a great deal of strength in depth and they have a lot of experience of this rule set. So I'm fairly confident that they will minimize the impacts of that penalty." Red Bull would have already had less development time than their rivals after securing both titles in 2022. However, Red Bull's sanction means the team will now have 12% less wind tunnel time than Ferrari. Mercedes will also have a bumper 17% advantage over Red Bull, which could prove vital as the Silver Arrows mount a comeback. But, F1 rules state teams cannot make severe changes to their cars between seasons under the current cycle, which could prove to be a lifeline for Red Bull. Fallows stressed the importance of this, suggesting the team would be in a strong position, based on the success of last year's package. He commented, "They've come from a very strong position with last year's car. There are regulation changes for this year, as we know, but they're not massive. So they are clearly in a very good, very strong position going into this year." Red Bull were also slapped with a £6.3 million $7 million fine after being found to have spent above the threshold. Red Bull boss Christian Horner called the penalty a draconian measure and stressed it could cost Verstappen and Sergio Perez around half a second per lap. However, the team is still confident they can challenge at the sharp end with their nearest rivals tipped to be Mercedes. Helmut Marko said, "I would say we should fear Mercedes more. Mainly because they have an advantage over Ferrari in terms of strategy and reliability.